Well, Halloween being just a couple of weeks away here, there are a lot of folks who are looking to get spooked. Turns out Corpus Christi actually has plenty of haunted places.
That's right, and a couple of those haunted places are some of Corpus Christi's oldest cemeteries. Sunrise reporter Chelsea Torres is live at the Old Bayview Cemetery to tell us more. Good morning, Chelsea.
Hey, good morning. That's right. We've been to the cemetery many times, and it's one of my favorites because of how spooky and creepy it is. And I'm here with Susan Trevino, part of the Enjoy Corpus Christi tours. Now, you were telling me that this is very different. Y'all have something that's strictly just cemetery tours, and you're telling me that it's completely different than ghost tours. Is that right?
That's right. Our cemetery tours are based on history, the history of the cemetery, as opposed to a ghost tour. So we look at this very differently. From your perspective, this is an amazing cemetery. Many of you may or may not know that this cemetery, Old Bayview Cemetery, is the oldest federal cemetery in the state of Texas. It's also one of the only non-segregated cemeteries in our area. The people that are buried here have so many stories to tell, and we love sharing those stories with our visitors and with the folks that live here too.
And what's so cool is that y'all do not just come to this cemetery, but you'll go to other ones. What are a few of the other cemeteries that you'll touch on that also have a lot of history?
On October 20th, which will be our very first cemetery tour, we'll be coming here to Old Bayview. We'll also go to New Bayview, which a lot of people have no idea about it. We will stop at Hebrew Rest, and we're going to Holy Cross Cemetery, and we're going to Rose Hill Cemetery. So at each one of those cemeteries, there's some very special things, aspects, people who may be buried there that we'll be touching on our very first inaugural cemetery tour.
And something that I do want to touch on, because I know you mentioned to me this last week, is that your cemetery tours are actually during the day, so they won't be at night, so you probably won't get as spooked out at night.
Yeah, the intent really is not to spook, but to learn about our history by visiting the cemeteries. We're going to be going at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it'll be an early morning when it's not too hot, and when we can really enjoy the tour.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. Of course, a little bit later, we'll talk a little bit more about these cemetery tours. And of course, you saw those ghost tours. I think what's so cool, though, is just, as we were talking earlier, is that there's just so much history here in Corpus Christi. And of course, you can find all of that through Susan and her husband, Renee Trevino, with Enjoy Corpus Christi Tour.